Well, hey everyone, it's Tom here, back in the shop. It is kind of a ugly, rainy Sunday in the middle of June, but we needed the rain really bad, so that's a plus. And with nothing to do around the house, because Sunday is usually my yard day, I figured I'd come down in the shop and piddle a little bit. So as you see by the title of the video, we've got a little more maintenance to do on the jet lathe, unfortunately. You know, more little things I'm finding as I go through this lathe. So let me take you over there and show you what we got going on. But before I do, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and hit the likes and share it with your friends so the YouTube algorithm will be happy and my channel will get spread out so other people can find it. I'd appreciate it. So let's go check out this video's project. Well, most of you guys have seen my new, to me, jet lathe. It's a 24-inch swing, gap bed. You can do 31.5 inches, and it's 10 feet long, so you can do some nice long stuff. Bought it from a machine shop that closed down, and well, unfortunately, it was not under power. They had disconnected all the machines in the machine shop. I understand why they did it, because it was a small shop, and you know, to get this lathe you had to move a couple other lathes, so if the other lathes weren't sold, you know, you got to move them, you got to disconnect the power anyway. So I kind of get that, but you know, when you go to buy a machine, obviously you would like to run it through its paces and check it out under power. They assured me that it was in good shape, so you know, it kind of is, but I'm finding small issues. We finally got it powered up, and I got a noise coming from this area up here, which was a little unsettling. So I came down today and decided to try to, process elimination, try to figure out where it was coming from. Let me add a little extra light. And it was coming from this back area, so I was like, well, worst case scenario, maybe we got some bad bearings, but let me just, go through some stuff. Let me make sure there's no issue with the motor and the belts or anything like that. Well, I'm glad I did this way, because the issue was back here. So this is the drive pulley coming off the belts, and I noticed it was moving. So let's see if I can get you guys in there. So it has a tapered bore and a key way cut into it, and with the key to drive it. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Well, it wasn't on really snug, and so this was moving and wobbling around, and as you can see, it kind of wore a spot right there in the side of that keyway where the key was sitting. So if I take you over here, I don't know if it's going to focus or not, if you can see how wonky that key is. Let me hold it like this maybe. You can see that groove. So she was just, sitting in there like that. So that's not good. So there, that thing was doing this. I think that's where all my noise is coming from. So that's good. I don't have to get into the headstock. But what makes it interesting is this is obviously a tapered shaft, and this is metric. This ended up being 236 thousandths or 6 millimeter. So that's the size of the keyway and the key, obviously. This is going to be a first for me. It is a perfect job for a shaper, because we have to cut a keyway, but we have to cut a in a tapered bore. So we can set this up, because I have the universal shaper, which gives you the rotating table and a tilting top. So we can set this up, tilt it, so we can get this obviously parallel with the stroke, and we can cut a key. Now this will be a first for me, I will admit, trying this. So I'm not going to try to repair that and recut it. It just makes more sense just to cut another keyway right there, I guess 180 degrees from the original, and just be done with it. And this is cast too, so that would make it a little more problematic. So that's what this video is about. I'm not sure how long it's going to run, either maybe 1 or 2 videos. And we'll see if we can't get this knocked out. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Like I said, it'll be a first for me, and maybe a first for you guys. So let's get a plan of attack. Got you guys hanging down from the top of the lathe. You're looking at, I guess, the hardened input shaft that the pulley rides on. So we found a couple other issues. Corresponded with my buddy DJ, and he asked about the taper, and I was like, well, the taper looks pretty good. You know, I don't have any major scoring or anything. So I was like, well, that's good. And I said, let me check the pulley. Well, let me show you what we found, guys. So that nut that holds this thing on has been backed off for a while. Because when I slide this thing on, she doesn't lock. Look at that. She should be solid. So she's been loose and wiggling around and wore out that tapered bore in there. I can feel a little bit of a ridge right there, so you can see that it's probably 10,000 large or so. So that adds more to the projects. So I guess first what we'll have to do is sleeve that, bore it out to the proper taper, and then we can cut a tapered keyway. So looks like the video series is going to be a little bit longer. Well, we might as well go ahead and check the bearings while we're here, just to make sure that the bearings didn't start all this. Got you set up. Hopefully you can see it's not getting washed out, but with me yanking on it, I mean maybe half of a thou at the most. You can see the needle move, so I think the bearings are good. So yanking on it, that's what I get, and then if we rotate her, see if I can do this, because we're going to have the key right there. So it's 1 thou, 2 thou, 2.5 thou. Run out there. And then we'll come back to where the key's at. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue just with this belt pulley. I'll just have to keep an eye on it once we get it all put back together. And if she runs good, then we're going to run with it. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. It's been a few days since I did that intro you guys just watched. And during that time I reached out to a couple master machinists, because I am not one. I am still learning. I've only been really hardcore machining for about 8 years. Before that I was more of a welder and metal fabricator, so you know, I'm still trying to absorb all the knowledge. I definitely don't know everything, still learning. And I told them what I found and basically what I thought the best route to go was. And both of them agreed. They did give me some pointers, which is good. One, they suggested I use cold rolled steel to be the sleeve in this pulley here. So that's what we're going to use to go in there. I found this chunk of mystery metal, good size. We'll see if that's going to end up being that or something different. And one machinist mentioned to go ahead and either pin it or screw it so it doesn't move, which is a real good idea. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. Also, they suggested, or were curious if I could just, you know, maybe lap this and hone this out a little bit to get rid of the error in that taper and, you know, get it on there so I don't have to redo this. But unfortunately, I'll take you over there and show you on the machine, but the taper is real short, so can't move the pulley any closer to the machine, otherwise it's going to hit, and then, you know, the belts are going to be out of line because it doesn't look like the motor will shift this way. The bolt holes are round, you know, they're not slotted, so you can't move the motor. It's in a stationary position. All you can do is raise it up and down to you know, change the tension on the belts. Checking the shaft, it is a 1 in 5 taper, so basically for every 200 thousandths per inch it rises. So at least that's an even number, you know, it's not some odd number that we have to try to set up on the compound, so that'll help cutting this taper. And once we basically get all this done, I'm not sure how I want to cut this key yet. I'm still debating back and forth. You know, I'd like to do it on the shaper, but I haven't done a tapered key on the shaper, so, you know, I hate for this to be my first test, you know, because we got to get this right, and I don't have another one. I really don't want to have to, you know, machine a whole another pulley. So I'm leaning more towards just conventional broaching it, but we'll see once we get there. So let me take you over to the machine and show you a couple things. So as I mentioned, this taper is real short. It's about maybe 1.25 inches. So I mean, it takes up everything. So for me to clean it up, you know, obviously the pulley would sit closer or higher on this taper, and it just won't clear this stuff right here. So can't do that. So that kind of answers that question. And I did take the headstock off, or the headstock cover, should I say. And I don't know if you guys can see in there well or not. Let me get a light just to make sure. Lighting looks good on the viewfinder, but don't know. So I am pleased that all the gears look good. There's no chipping. Doesn't look like any issues. I ran a magnet all the way around down in the bottom. I did not pick up any chunks of metal. So, you know, that is good. So hopefully, you know, the only issue is, you know, that baby right there, that pulley. So we'll get a plan of attack, and I'll bring you guys along. Well, guys, I guess it's time to enter the point of no return, right? Get this thing done. So I got you set up over here at the Monarch lathe. I've got the pulley in the 12-inch 3-jaw, you know, self-centered. Can't really use the 4-jaw because the bore is all jacked up, so it can't indicate off the bore. So I figured just easier to use a 3-jaw. Plus I don't have to pull that big heavy monster off and put the 4-jaw on. Running pretty good. Let me see if I can move you a little bit. I don't know if the light's going to wash out that dial or not. Let me see if there's any. Probably let me kill this one. Maybe that'll help. That better? You guys see that one? So running on the face. We're only running a couple thou off, and I think that is just the difference of the thickness of the paint, really. You know, so I think we're pretty good there. So I'm happy with it. We'll run with that. Got the lights killed, maybe you can see that. So if we check out here on the perimeter, same deal. Just running a couple thou here and there, and like I said, I think it's just it's the paint. You can see where it's missing. So I think we're about as nice and true as we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and run with it. Not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but it looks like she's running pretty darn true. If you look at the top of the pulley and then also down in the bottom of the grooves where the belt rides. And you come over here. Not bad. I don't know if you can see that tapered bore though. You can see how bad it's got munched out. So, got a small boring bar in there now. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of chew out the small part of the taper. And then I'll put a larger boring bar in, and I'll bring you guys back and get you a little lathe action. So I finished cleaning out that taper. It should be pretty much a straight bore now. Did get some flex with this small, what is it, like a 3/4 inch boring bar. So I'm gonna step up to a larger boring bar, and we'll, you know, start enlarging that bore. I'll get you some video. Alrighty, hopefully that's a good spot for you. I got the larger boring bar in, I got it choked up. Got the height set right. Just measured the bore. We're at 1 inch, 412 thousandths. We're going to take it out to 1 inch and 750 thou. That should give me enough meat. So I'll start chewing her away. What do you say? Running 273 RPMs. And I've just been taking it easy because the interrupted cut with the key, it's almost been cut out, but we're just taking it easy. I can just 20 thou and 20 thou for total depth of 40 till we're done eating that key, and then I can take better cuts. Of course, cast iron, it's throwing these little boogers everywhere. At least they're not hot though. So you can feel the keyway right now, and I'm about to get out of it, and I can get a little smoother action there. I just have a dial stop set over here by the headstock. Like I said, I may move you here if that camera angle's not good. But not much to it. All we're doing is just going to be chewing this thing out. Alright, grab another 20 and rinse and repeat. Let me see if I can move you over, maybe get a better angle. Hang on. There you go, let's see how that'll work. Just dialed in another 20. That keyway is almost gone. Probably the next pass we can take a bigger bite. Let's see where we're at. We should be getting close. Well, we were at 711. We need to take this out to about 750. So dialed in 10, we'll take another 20, we'll see what kind of tool flex we got, and then maybe shoot for one more cut after this. Like I said, I'm just shooting for a nominal number. We're going to make the sleeve fit this, so if I don't hit 750 exactly, it's not all lost, obviously. Well, we were shooting for 731. The measurement was 732 with thou large. So we're going to dial it in. Hopefully make this last cut. Let's see if we can hit 750. If we're at 49 or 51, it's not a deal breaker, but it's always nice to be able to hit your numbers. Yep, let's see how we did. Oh, get my readers on. Yeah, this looks like we overshot it by about 2. Let me try this again. Yep, looks like they're going to be large. About, geez, 2.5 thou. She cut her big. Alright, so we're at 752.5. Well, like I said, not as all lost. We can just make it about 753.5 for the sleeve. Just about a 1 thou press fit.